it was like you were bashing on a guy, right? Because there was a guy bashing on a guy. That sounds terrible. Hello everybody and welcome to my first video on my new channel. Well, it's actually not my new channel, it's my old channel, Semh Восемь. But I just started working after spending roughly 9 months on my old channel, uploading EDM and music to my old channel. I finally decided to make this new video, but because I wanted to discuss videos that a YouTuber known as Bearing has uploaded not too long ago. In fact, actually, I created my channel like days before Baron created his channel, which is crazy. But I just wanted to address some of the things, mostly for the most part, because I'm new to his channel, like new as in like I didn't meet him, but like I found his channel last week, and I saw this video, and it was called "The Young Turks Have Finally Lost the Plot," which is so far the only video that I actually have any kind of disagreements with, and I posted a comment on my other channel discussing a lot of the issues concerning that, and I'm still going to go over some of the issues now, but let's begin.
Now, supporters of the ordinance had said it would have offered increased protections for gay and transgender people, as well as protections against discrimination based on sex, race, age, religion, and other categories.
As far as I'm concerned, it appears to me that like this kind of thing, especially with this issue, doesn't even concern all the other things that they were talking about. Like, what were they talking about? Age, sex, religion, and other categories. I don't know why you would mention all this extra stuff unless if you literally want to make it seem like these people who are voting against it are like evil, ageist, whatever Bearing said, ageist, sexist, racist people. It's like they're trying to portray themselves, or not themselves, it's like they're trying to portray these other people as like super evil humans who only want stuff for themselves.
I hadn't seen that ad. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I read about it, but I hadn't seen it firsthand.
What? You haven't looked at the ad? So like you're right now, off the spot, off the top of your head, you're literally you just watched the video and now you're reacting to it with like your simple-minded, you didn't like evaluate it, you just literally read it and now you look at it and now you're trying to give an example off that you know what you're talking about? That's sure, go ahead.
The imagery is so despicable, and the way that they're exploiting cases of rape and sexual assault as an excuse to discriminate against the LGBT community disgusts me.
Hey, hang on, is this what we're whinging about? I mean, the rapist sort of coming into the cubicle at the end was, yeah, probably a bit of a scare tactic, but no more of an exaggeration than you saying that they're voting against equal rights. Kind of seems like they just don't want dudes in the toilets with their daughters.
It's funny that Bearing mentions that that it's like the idea that they don't want these men going into these bathrooms simply because they just don't want dudes in the bathrooms with their daughters. Two things I got to point out about that. One, if it's like a bad analogy, because if it's your daughter, how stupid do you gotta be to go into a public bathroom? I mean, not to give any, ideas, not to seem like a sociopath, but what? Why would you do it in the public area? You literally could do it anywhere else. You could literally do it in your home where you have a right to privacy. Obviously, that's not something that should be allowed, but it's something that like people wouldn't know about. And you got to be like the biggest idiot to literally go into a public place to do something to do that with somebody that you can literally do it with in your own home. What? I don't know why you chose that wording, but generally, if you're trying to talk about like, dudes in the bathroom with like random people, sure.
A lot of different states and municipalities.
But hang on, when these trans people were growing up, they had the comfort of knowing that they had a bathroom they could go to without having to share it with the opposite sex. Doesn't the current generation of kids deserve the same?
It depends on what you look at it, because I don't know, because I haven't been alive that long. And I don't know how I like, as far as like 2000s, early 2000s and whatnot, I never really heard of like transgender people up until 2012, I think, is when they uploaded a video about it. Somebody uploaded a video about it. If you even look at transgender people, they're pretty recently new in the grand scheme of things. And if you're trying to compare like people growing up and having to be able to be comfortable using the same bathroom as people that they're with.
Whatever. Okay, fine. Try to make that case. It's stupid, but you can make that case. They're claiming that day that they're a man or a woman or whatever.
You know, your face just pisses me right off, cunt. Fuck you.
You know, you're not really helping your case there, Baron. I mean, granted, I'm not one to normally be offended by things. In fact, that's mostly why I enjoy comedy like yours. But I mean, if you're trying to like give off a case and how they're and like how they are dumb, it's not helping by also insulting them on their looks.
They can do that now. It's a crime, but they can do it.
Yeah, but right now, if you saw a 5-year-old girl walk into a public toilet and a 50-year-old bloke follow her, you'd probably think, that's a bit odd, wouldn't you?
It's a good thing that Baron brings this up too, because I mean, if you did see somebody, like a man or somebody that looks like a man go into the bathroom, obviously there is some ideal issues with like transgender people. Like now, even without this law passing, if you have a man that looks like a woman that goes into the woman's bathroom, she looks like a woman, people aren't going to stop her. People aren't going to be like, are you trans? Are you transgender and you're trying to be a woman? Go to the men's bathroom. Normally, people won't do that, and even if they do find out, unless if it's morally obvious, like Joseph Salad style, or what is his name? Joey Salad? I was close, right? Unless if it's morally obvious, like Joey Salad style.
What's up, guys? Joey Salad's here. Alright, guys, so I'm about to make my transformation to look like a transgender. How do I look?
Oh my god. Joe, you look fabulous.
I mean, like, I know plenty of transgender people, like, online. Obviously, I don't know any in real life, but I've known plenty of people online that I didn't even know they were transgender until, like, I heard their voice.
Alright, Anna, I'm officially changing sides. From the information I have, it doesn't sound like these people hate LBTG, trannies and poofs.
I mean, it's 4 letters, Barry. LGBT, 4 letters.
So let's go to the second video. This ad is just as despicable, but let's take a look.
Join me to stop the violation of privacy and discrimination against women. Vote no on Proposition 1. No men in women's bathrooms, no boys in girls' showers or locker rooms.
Am I not getting something here? That didn't seem that despicable to me.
Yeah. Gotta agree with you there. It didn't seem that despicable. I mean, the thing is that you gotta concern, this is where I'm with you here, Baron. It's like, these people who are making these ads, they're not terrible people. They have reasonable justice. Like, and now am I saying that there has to be a change? No, because I don't actually quite understand the circumstances. I don't understand, but as far as I'm concerned, transgender people can still go into the bathrooms now, and the law really doesn't need to happen. You know, it's another thing where you got to kind of ask the transgender people, because I can't speak for the transgender people or the transgender community because I'm not a transgender person. So, which is why you kind of got to like gauge their opinion, and of course their opinion might not matter in the grand scheme of things, considering the fact that they make up what 0.3% of the population. So it's kind of like a very minute thing, but. I mean, if you see somebody in the the bathroom is your privacy in the whole sense of things, right? I mean, it may sound weird, but if you really think about it, the stalls are your privacy, you know?
Okay, so traditionally you have segregated bathrooms. Men and women go into their separate bathrooms. Fairly recently, I've been exposed to co-ed bathrooms, right? It's coming up more and more. Maybe it's because I live in California.
Well, you can do whatever you want in California, just like these people can do whatever they want where they live.
That's kind of a different story. I mean, you can't. I mean, obviously, I know you're like exaggerating a bit, but I mean, especially in California, just because there's co-ed bathrooms doesn't mean there's transgender bathrooms. There's a huge difference. One means that there's 2 separate bathrooms, and the transgender person would be able to feel comfortable going into one bathroom. I don't know why I said transgender bathrooms. Transgender laws with as far as bathrooms go. One is like you can still feel comfortable going into the bathroom that you feel more appropriate going into, and the other is anybody could go into any bathroom they want.
How many instances of rape has there been at that bathroom?
I've never been raped there.
I've never been raped there.
Maybe these people made a mistake by putting that rape scene at the end of their ad, but I don't think this is about rape. They just don't want dudes in the toilets with their fucking daughters. What's so hard to get about that?
I like how you keep bringing up dudes in the bathrooms with their daughters. What about dudes in the bathrooms with their sons? You know, does that not matter? Once again, there's another thing that I brought up in my comment that I made. Dudes in the bathrooms with their sons, is that not like, I know it's obviously not a problem to you. I don't know how you can just ignore that. That's something, I mean, once again, you would imagine if, like, this, that's the thing too. If it's not a problem with dudes in the bathrooms with their sons, then why is it a problem with dudes in the bathrooms with their daughters? I mean, obviously, it's like socially it's not acceptable, but in the long stretch, once again, what is the big deal? Is it more of a threat? Is it more of a threat to society that there's dudes in the bathrooms with their daughters? Because, I mean, once again, maybe it's a security thing, you know, because I'm pretty sure I put this out in my comment. If I had any child, I would prefer them to go into the bathroom with me than to, like, leave them out stranded, you know, anywhere else. Like just in public, especially if I'm just alone with my child. Oh, well, that's the only case. If I'm alone with my child, I would still rather have the child come with me into the bathroom where I know they're safe, rather than even having them outside, you know, having them anywhere else where I can't keep an eye on them. I actually don't even know if that's allowed. Can you bring your, is that a thing? Can you actually do that?
Why do people think that bathrooms are specifically designed for rapists, right?
Fear of some perv listening to you or
fear
looking
and ignorance.
at you.
People go to the bathroom to relieve themselves, they wash their hands, hopefully, and they leave.
Well, I mean, the thing is with the bathrooms is that, at least in the US, I don't know about this in other countries, I would imagine this would apply for a lot of other countries, especially Western world countries, but at least in the US, there is no, like, camera installations in the bathrooms or anything like that. You know, the bathrooms, anything, you know, not obviously not anything goes, but, you know, it's a lot harder to get caught doing something illegal in the bathrooms because there's no cameras in there. There's no visual proof of you being able to do something, which I would imagine is the reason why people have kind of this fear, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know. I've never feared going to the bathroom. But it's, if people do, you know, let me know. I don't know. Do people fear going to the bathroom? I never asked anybody that.
The fact that these ads actually resonated with the people of Houston disgusts me.
Yeah.
Right? And for them to vote against an ordinance that would protect people from discrimination disgusts me. Houston should be ashamed of themselves.
And the fact that you think you're better placed to make a judgment call on their kids' safety probably disgusts them.
I'd imagine that's just a personal thing, honestly, because I mean, if you think about it, if that does disgust them, whether you're, to be fair, you can't lie, Baron. You're disgusted by them, okay? You don't like them. It's pretty apparent in this video. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just apparent in all the other videos. But you clearly just have a bias against these people for whatever reason. Maybe it's a justifiable reason. But the thing is that you can't really compare this kind of thing. You can't compare somebody for being a bigot or an idiot over a controversial issue because, at least for the most part, they have a reasonable reason to think what they think. You can't really think about it like they're just, you know, being mean-spirited and they're just, you know, they're not thinking outside the box. I think they're thinking way too outside of the box. In fact, they're thinking in a completely separate box, like they're hitting on a different putt in mini golf, 3D ultra, I'll get it eventually, 3D ultra mini golf adventures. That's the word. What a terrible analogy. But if you do get it, it's funny, right? No, dude, you kidding me? That's super funny.
If they fell victim to these stupid propaganda, deceptive ads, well, then you're a moron.
And you're a self-righteous loudmouth slut.
How'd you come to that conclusion? I like how you blame, like, literally, recently, there's a feminist kid, and then there's a No, an anti-feminist kid. I'm sorry. There was an anti-feminist kid. And then there was a feminist reacting to that guy. And he says that all anti-feminists are idiots. And then you say, well, how'd you come to that conclusion?
For those of you who don't know about Latin word roots, an anti-feminist is someone who is against the feminism movement. And feminism is, I quote, the advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men. So basically, in short, an anti-feminist is a misogynistic asshole.
How the fuck did you arrive there? That's some gold medal winning mental gymnastics.
I gotta ask you that question. All of a sudden, she's whatever you said.
You're a self-righteous loudmouth slut.
You come to that conclusion from what? Like, now you're just offending these guys. Once again, I have no problem with it, but if you want to actually make your point any clearer, you're gonna have to come up with, like, better insults than that.
Houston, by the way, which is in Texas, but it is Houston. It's a large city. It's not Dallas. It's more liberal. It's more racially diverse. Should understand that and should understand the long history of these same sorts of scare tactics being used to scare people into recognizing our shared humanity.
Are you... What? Have you ever been to Houston? Houston is like the most... like non-conforming non-conforming city in the world. A year or 2 years before gay marriage was illegal in every country, Houston in Texas still didn't want it. And you're trying to tell me that these people have already learned? They still don't want it. Look at Houston, I'd imagine Texas, Houston, you know, all those places, they're not ever gonna move up. They're gonna move up if the country makes them or the government makes them, okay? They're not advancing people, okay?
Bathrooms. You're a disgusting human being.
You have no rebound off of that. You're just like, whatever. I mean, I guess that's what you were like 3/17 of the way through the video. I don't know why I went with that number, but I mean, I don't know. I just felt like you would have had some kind of revolting. It's just like literally their video ends and then your video ends and then this video ends. It's like the showers and stalls. I'm gonna edit all of this out. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even gonna upload this video. I'm gonna add that actually at the end, but except for the unedited version.